2026 is upon us. Wizards of the Coast can't help themselves from making 5-color commanders that are incredibly generic and uninspired, but I think we can get even stronger. So I've taken it upon myself to build the ultimate commander. So let's take a look at why. We've got these commanders that are pretty strong and relatively simple. Make more goblins, cast enchantments, draw cards, burn people. And then we've got these commanders that are a little stronger, like Joda, Hackball, or Tom Bombadil. Still strong, a lot of words on them, they're doing a lot of things, but I want to do even more than that. I'm not satisfied with what these commanders are doing. I want to be doing even more. I want my commander to be doing everything. And I'm drawing inspiration from cards like Wowzer the Aspirational, these Yu-Gi-Oh cards that even Yu-Gi-Oh players can't understand, and even these meme cards from like r/Hell's Cube. Even these cards aren't doing enough. I want my commander to be doing everything. So I was doing a little bit of research and I came across the background mechanic, and there are some commanders where you choose a background as just a secondary commander and it says commander creatures you own do this. And I took this as my inspiration because there's like 30 cards that have background in them, and you can just throw these into your deck. You don't have to have these as your secondary commander. So I can throw any 30 of these cards and all of them have the text commander creatures you own have blank. So whatever commander we have, we're adding a ton more abilities on them if we just fill our deck with these backgrounds. So how do we go about choosing what commander to do? Because there's a lot of different options, and regardless of what commander we have, we're going to be throwing this extra text on them. So I took it upon myself to start looking at the 5-color commanders. The backgrounds come in all 5 colors. I figure that a commander with all 5 colors is also going to be the best option here. So I've narrowed it down to 2 choices. We've got Joda, who does everything that you could want for legendary creatures, and then we've got Sisay, who tutors for legendary creatures. I think that there are pros and cons to both of these guys, but they are both going to be incredibly strong for what you want to do. Joda is going to be able to get you more of the enchantments out, or more of these legendary cards out, because all of the backgrounds are legendary, and Sisay will let you just tutor for them straight up. So it really depends on what you want to go for. If you want to tutor for them, or if you want to just get more on the board. Sisay has more, I think she has more potential, and I'll show you why. There's a certain card later on that if you can get that onto the board, you're probably just going to win the game. So Sisay is probably going to be the better option, especially because she's only 3 mana, so she's going to get onto the board sooner, meaning all of those backgrounds you have that say commander creatures you own have this, then those are going to start happening a lot sooner because Sisay is only 3 mana, whereas Joda is 5. So what cards are we going to put into the deck besides the backgrounds? We have all of these cards that say commander creatures you control get this and this. There are a lot of these legendary creatures which synergizes with both Joda and Sisay. A lot of these legendary creatures say your commanders get something, they get Menace to Death Touch, they get Indestructible, spells that target them cost 3 more to cast. These are all going to be really strong in the deck. And then we've got the Loyal lineup. We've got Loyal Apprentice, create Thopters, Loyal Drake, draw cards, Loyal Guardian, get 1/1 counters, Loyal Subordinate, burn people, Loyal Unicorn, get Vigilance and prevent damage. And these all happen if you own your commander. So something like having Sisay out on the board is gonna let these things trigger a little sooner. But then, because your commander is going to be doing everything, they're going to have all these keywords, they're going to have all these abilities, you need to run some protection because people are going to try to destroy you on sight. You will be killed on sight because you are nothing without your commander. You will be nothing. So you're going to need to run some protection. So here we have Audric. This guy is going to give all of your creatures keyword soup. If you can tutor for him with Sisay, then you're going to be thriving. Everyone's going to target you because you're going to be smashing the entire board with your commander. Your commander might get up to the point where it's just insta-killing people at this point, and I think that's a lot of fun. I think that is how you build the ultimate commander, but we can get weirder than that. Something to note with these backgrounds is that it says commander creatures you own, and I'd really like to highlight how well I circled that part, you own. Regardless of where your creature is at on the board, it's going to have those abilities that you've given it through backgrounds. This will not apply if you've taken someone else's creatures because you don't own those commander creatures. It's specifically going to be Sisay or Joda or whatever other commander you put in here. That commander, regardless of where it's at on the board, is going to have those abilities. So, I'd like to present to you Karona False God. No longer is it the time for politics. We are straight up playing group hug at this point because everyone is going to go around the board. They're going to get control of Karona, and they're going to have all of the abilities of all of your backgrounds. This is going to send the game into disarray and chaos because you're suddenly going to be giving every single player like 20 new abilities that they're not going to know what to do with. They'll probably find some sort of infinite combo off of it or find some way to kill you with it. So yes, it's the weirder option, but it is an option. And who knows, it might win you the game by having people start killing each other, but who knows. I have no idea how this would go once you start giving other people all of these crazy combo options. So anyways, I made the deck using Sisei as the commander. I will link the architects down below. I didn't use every single background because not every single one makes sense. But I did get most of them in there. Joda is also going to be a pretty good replacement. Ignore the land base for the deck. You can really just swap that out, copy it, and swap it out because it's not perfect. I just tried to put a lot of 5-color. I've never played a 5-color commander before, so I wasn't trying to make the land base. But if you're going to make a Karona deck, that's going to be a little different. You should be a little more picky with how you're going to make how you're going to choose the backgrounds, I should say, and then what other enchantments you're going to put on it to make Karona do some crazy stuff. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll have more crazy videos coming up soon.